Born to Tywin and Joanna Lannister in 266 AC, Cersei and her twin brother Jaime were raised in Casterly Rock of the Westerlands, and were so similar in appearance they sometimes switched clothes and assumed each other's identities in their youth. Inseparable for most of their young lives, they began to experiment with each other sexually until caught by a servant who reported it to their mother, after which they were separated and forbidden from ever repeating their actions. In 273 AC, their mother died, giving birth to Tyrion Lannister. The child, who was born a dwarf, inspired deep resentment and hatred from Cersei and their father Tywin, with only Jaime treating the boy with respect and kindness. As she grew, Cersei began to explore her sexuality with more partners, becoming interested in both boys and girls. Although an offer was made to House Lannister to betroth Cersei to young Oberyn Martell, Tywin refused in the hopes of pairing his daughter with Rhaegar Targaryen, heir to the Iron Throne. Cersei came to fantasize about marrying the handsome prince and becoming queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and was even told the betrothal was to occur at the tournament of Lannisport in 276 AC. During the festivities, young Cersei and her friend Malara Heatherspoon journeyed into the forest and encountered the woods witch Maggie the Frog, who spoke a troubling prophecy foretelling that Cersei would marry a man who'd have 16 bastards, while she had 3 golden-haired children of her own. It also stated that Cersei would be queen until replaced by someone younger and more beautiful. Her children would each wear crowns but die young, and that she would be killed by the Valonqar, meaning little brother in High Valyrian. The final prophecy saw the death of Malara Heatherspoon, killed by Cersei later that night to prevent anyone from ever learning what was said. Cersei was then told that King Aerys II rejected Tywin's offer for betrothal to Prince Rhaegar, who was later married to Elia Martell of Dorne. By the age of 15, Cersei was living in King's Landing with her father, and was once again involved romantically with her brother, who came to visit for a time. Eager to have him stay with her, she schemed to have the king bring Jaime into the Kingsguard, thereby having him move permanently to King's Landing so they could be together. However, the plan backfired when Tywin saw this as yet another insult by a petty king who had grown jealous of his accomplishments, and so now purposely robbed him of the heir to Casterly Rock. And so Tywin quit his position as Hand of the King and moved back to the Westerlands with his daughter, thereby separating the twins once more. In 283 AC, after the fall of House Targaryen in Robert's Rebellion, Tywin at last was in a position to see his daughter become queen, marrying Cersei to the newly crowned King Robert Baratheon, and cementing an alliance that brought stability and peace to Westeros for many years. Cersei, though still in a relationship with her brother, was excited to be marrying a war hero and king, but Robert proved a poor husband, saying the name of another woman, Lyanna Stark, during their first night together. Cersei then realized he was not the man she expected, and over the years the relationship deteriorated further. Robert, who'd chosen to leave the responsibility of running the kingdom to the Hand of the King, Jon Arryn, spent his time in blissful debauchery, bedding many different women and fathering a number of bastard children. Cersei, meanwhile, continued her incestuous relationship with her brother Jaime and gave birth to 3 pure-born Lannisters, which she passed off as children of her husband the king. On one occasion, the queen truly did become pregnant with Robert's child, but she'd grown so bitter and resentful towards him that she sent for a woman to help cleanse her of the problem. Robert's brother Stannis, seeing all the dark-haired children Robert was fathering and their likeness, found it odd all 3 of the king's legitimate children were blonde, with no discernible Baratheon traits whatsoever. He began to investigate alongside Jon Arryn and came to suspect the children were not of the royal line. However, Jon Arryn soon fell ill and died in 298 AC. Stannis, suspecting the Lannisters poisoned him, left the capital for Dragonstone. The Starks of Winterfell also came to believe the Lannisters were responsible when Jon Arryn's wife Lysa wrote them a letter suggesting they were behind the assassination. In truth, however, it was Peter Baelish, called Littlefinger, who was orchestrating events from behind the scenes, convincing Lysa to poison her own husband, then pitting the Stark and Lannister factions against each other. After the death of Jon Arryn, King Robert and his family traveled north to Winterfell, where he named his old friend Eddard Stark as the new Hand of the King. During their time at the fortress, Cersei laid with her brother in a secluded area of the Broken Tower, but they were discovered by young Bran Stark, who enjoyed climbing up the walls of the fortress. Jaime, in an attempt to keep their secret relationship from being exposed, pushed Bran from the tower window, leaving him in a coma. With the boy still unconscious, they began their return journey south, but while in the Riverlands, Arya's direwolf Nymeria attacked Prince Joffrey. In order to avoid punishment, Arya released her companion into the wild. However, as a result, Cersei had Sansa's direwolf, Lady, killed in retribution. A special thanks to all those who contribute to Civilization X, like Nantine the Blackburned Ewido, Galvaelra 8 Hands, and Ryanon. If you'd like to help the channel with a monthly donation, click on the Patreon link, and please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see more.